One way to play movies within Vizrt Artist is using the Moviz function, found within the built-ins, the function plugins tab, and the texture folder. So the way this works is that we can map this onto some type of geometry, and first we'll just drag a rectangle down and use a rectangle. So I'll just scale this up a little bit, and I'll go back into my built-ins, my FP tab, and drag the Moviz function down onto my rectangle. Now I'm going to click on the Moviz, and I'm going to go into the editor here. And first thing, you notice that when we drag it down, we don't see anything, but it automatically adds this little icon here, like an image or a texture source to it. So we're going to go into the Moviz, and at the very top there's a clip URL. We can click the Browse button, and it will take us into another window here where we can browse for an actual movie folder. So here I have an AVI file. I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to click OK. Now when we first do that, we don't notice anything again, but at the very bottom, if we come down here, we have our own play controls within here. So once I hit play, you're going to notice that it's going to play this movie. Now once it reaches the end of that movie, it stops. And if we go back up to the top of the editor here, we have an autoplay function which is off by default. So if we want this movie to autoplay when the scene opens, we can set this on. We also have an option here for loop clip, so I'm going to turn this on, and when I come back down to the bottom and hit play again, it's going to play the clip, but when it reaches the end of the clip, it's automatically going to loop and start again. So you can see there how it bounced back and started again. So we can turn this off. Now we also have other options here. It says clip duration, clip position in, clip position out. These are all picked up by default, all the numbers in here, so depending on what your clip length is, this is what it enters in here. Now we also have a video device format down here, which is set to RGB24 by default. We can change this to none or ARG32, so if your clip supports an alpha channel, you can use this ARG32. There's also a force opaque button. Again, if you're using the alpha channel on a clip, this will help you adjust that. There's an auto scale texture, which is on by default, and this automatically scales this movie to the size of the primitive that we're using. So we can turn this off, and once we turn this off, it gets rid of the crop variables. So with the auto scale texture on, we can adjust this border crop width. So when I adjust this and the border crop height, we're going to increase the variables on that. And when I come down here and hit play again, you can see how it affected the movie on our rectangle. So we'll reset that. There's also an audio device format set to none by default, but if we do have an audio device attached to our Vizrt Artist or our Viz engine, we can choose the default device here, and it will carry audio with the video clip. There's a status loaded button here, which is on. We can turn that off by default, and that gives you what the status is when the clip is loaded. Now at the very bottom where we have our play, our rewind, a stop, a load, eject, play from start, and clear, we can clear our video if we need to. And we don't just need to use this video on a flat primitive. So what I'm going to do is just get rid of this whole rectangle. So we can map this onto a 3D object, and I'm going to use a cube this time, and I'm just going to scale it up, rotate it a little bit so that we'll be able to see it. I'm going to go back and grab my Moviz function and drag it onto our cube. Once I'm in the Moviz, I'm going to come up and navigate to our movie again. So here's my movie. I load it up, go down to the very bottom. I'm going to hit play, and now it plays on this cube. So if we need to come in here and rotate this cube in any direction, scale it up, reposition it, or scale it wherever we want. What's more, we also have this little image texture here, so we can actually come in here and reposition the position of the image or the movie, and if we need to scale it, we can manually make these adjustments within this editor as well.